Thank you very much. It's Kevin Kenny. We're live in New York City on the Build series, and we're about to be joined on the stage by a guest today who got his start on Vine really just a couple years ago, has now amassed millions of fans around the world, and is currently in the midst of his very own comedy tour. Please let's make some noise for Kurtis Connor. I feel bad. I'm always tricking you guys. Kurtis is coming out in just a few minutes, but let's just check out a clip of his comedy right here.
The video that started my whole obsession and fascination of country folks was a Vine by a country girl. This one. Dude, I could watch that on loop all day and I'd be fine. And it'd be still funny all day. No matter what I do on this channel, that'll be funnier, no matter what. And that sucks, but hey, that's the way the horse gallops sometimes, okay?
There he is, galloping on a stage. Kurtis Connor, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, pretty funny. Pretty funny.
Was that a Vine or a TikTok the girl was in?
Oh, that was actually from a Vine.
Really?
Yeah, back in the day. I think, yeah, that's a pretty old one.
Okay.
But that's just kind of, I always laughed at that very hard. So
yeah.
I got the opportunity to put it in that video, so that was great.
That's awesome. Well, welcome to Build, your first time ever.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for being here.
You brought your friends along, it sounds like, so that's cool. And let's start with something really cool. It seems like last night was a really big night for you.
Last night.
Was it 2 nights ago?
2 nights ago.
Yeah. I'm sorry, 2 nights ago.
I mean, last night was pretty fun too. But
yeah. Every night.
Yeah.
You're Kurtis Connor.
2 nights ago, yeah, I played the Queen Elizabeth Theater in Toronto, which is my hometown, which is like a very big theater. And I like saw one of my favorite comedians there, John Mulaney, when I like first started doing comedy. So I got to perform there. So that was a really cool moment. And thanks to these two, they made it possible. These two, my two eyes, my two hands, just me. Just kidding. These two guys, they made it possible. Yeah.
So you talk about when you first wanted to do comedy, when you first started comedy. Does that predate Vine?
Yeah. I started comedy. Yeah, I started doing stand up. That's how I got into comedy, and then I kind of started doing Vine like a few months after. But when I started Vine, it wasn't anything like, I wasn't trying to be funny. I was just like, I would just like film my snacks or my skateboard or something. But then I started seeing oh, this is a thing that I can use to be funny, or I could try to be funny at least. I don't know if I was, but yeah, it just kind of snowballed from there, I guess. And then it went all away. Then it all went away one day, and then I had to start all over again. So, but yeah.
I mean, you joke about it, right? But was that a scary moment for you? Where you built up this incredible audience?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, at the time, it's easy to laugh at it now, but I'm sure at the time I was super bummed. You work so hard at building the audience and stuff and making all these videos, and then one day they're just like, okay, we're done, bye-bye. And it was tough to make the switch to YouTube. It took a while, so before anything started happening. So, but I mean, thank God it did.
Yeah, right?
Yikes.
What was the hardest part of that transition? Was it sort of getting the audience to cross over, or was it from a content point of view, just totally different approach to content?
Right. Yeah. Well, it was all really tough because obviously Vine is different from YouTube because it's so, you could spend 10 seconds making a Vine, it's done, it's up. But a YouTube video takes days and days of work and editing and stuff. So it's very different, just in a work, workflow way, I guess, if that makes sense. But yeah, also getting the audience over was tough too, because it is a lot of work for being yeah, I just watched his Vines whenever, and then to be now go over to this site and type in my name and then press the subscribe button. It was really tough for everyone to do that, and I get it too. And you want to make sure the person's content is something that you are engaged in and you want to see more of. So yeah, it was just tough. So
yeah. Well, did you welcome it in a certain way as a creator, because you actually could now expand upon topics past 6 seconds right on YouTube? You could explore things more.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is that's the cool thing about YouTube. It is a lot more rewarding than Vine. I mean, there are Vines that did take a long time, I'm sure, but when you work really hard on a YouTube video, you spend hours and hours editing and scripting and everything, and then when it does well, it's that's the best feeling in the world. So yeah, it's nice that I'm able to script out longer bits and stuff and make it even dumber than it should be. But yeah, it's fun. I like it a lot.
it's funny when you do these interviews now, most interviewers are going to say, oh, you started your career on Vine, right? But when you
Right.
started on Vine, the word career couldn't have
Yeah.
been further from your
Yeah.
mind, right?
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I had a job like pretty much until like 6 months ago, like a full-time job. Like I wasn't able to do this full time until then. So yeah, it wasn't like a career. It was just a thing that I did, and it was so weird. Like I used to work at Starbucks. You guys, have you heard of it? It's just a little local shop. Yeah, I used to work at Starbucks, and then people would come in and be like, "Hey, I watch you," and I'd be like, "Okay, well." I gotta make you a drink now. It was just a weird like thing that was, because everyone would be like, oh, you're famous, Vine famous, whatever. But that doesn't mean anything at all. Like it didn't pay me any money or anything. I wasn't able to like sustain myself. It was still enjoyable, obviously, but yeah, I still had to like make coffee for people. So yeah.
Was that the first tangible proof of your success, right? Because you talk about being Vine famous, right? The numbers are great, but it's like it's totally different, and especially now you're getting it every night, like seeing people in person,
For sure,
and getting that in the physical world. Was that really the first evidence of this?
Yeah, that's still so wild to me that people will come and even here and like hang out and stuff. It's so cool. Like, yeah, it's still mind blowing. Like I just try to. Yeah, because there's a lot of people I look up to and who I like and enjoy what they're doing. So like, yeah, it's amazing that I don't know. It's amazing that it's cool that people feel that way, even just a little bit about me. So really yeah, cool. If that makes sense.
What was your first Vine ever? Like
the first Vine ever?
Not like the first successful one, like the first
one
Vine
ever. I think it was me doing a kickflip on my skateboard.
Okay.
Pretty cool. Not trying to flex or anything, but yeah, it was just like me holding my phone and me doing it.
Okay.
And that's it. So yeah, pretty funny.
And then what was the Vine that really blew up? Like the first one that really went viral.
First one was I'll do a reenactment. Pretend you're the phone filming me. Oh hey, what's up? I was so it was like hey, wait, how does it go? Hey, if you instead of engaging in misogyny, you should just massage a knee. And I rubbed my knee. And I massaged my knee. You all understand, right? That was the joke. And then I just like played up I just really like bad jokes a lot. I think they're funny. And I just kind of played up the fact that it was so bad. And maybe, I don't know, it made some people laugh. So that was the first one, I guess. And then it just kind of took off from there, I guess. I got like 100,000 followers in like a few months, and I was like,
oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy, yeah. That was it. That was a dramatic reenactment.
Thank you.
No problem.
Were you doing stand-up actively throughout the Vine success, and now YouTube, of course, and all these other platforms you're on, or did you stop at some point to just focus on the digital stuff?
Sorry, was I focusing on like just?
Well, were you doing stand-up like continuously throughout that journey?
Yeah. I was doing stand-up the whole time, and that was like the cool part that went hand in hand. Like people who knew me from Vine, they would like come out to the shows and stuff, and that was the best. Yeah, because like I love doing stand-up, and I want to do that forever. And Vine was and YouTube was just a cool way for me to also create funny content in like a different way, but still have people like who actually want to see me. Because if you're just doing open mics, for stand-up, I hate it so much, and it's a very sad place to be. But yeah, I never really stopped one or the other. I always try to keep doing the same thing, all of them all at the same time, which is tough, but it's fun.
But I think it's so smart because I think what happens a lot now, because things can go so viral and careers can really begin overnight, right? Like I think of the world of music. If you have a huge viral hit on SoundCloud, you're given a touring career before you've ever done a show.
True, yeah.
Right? And I think that because you did both simultaneously, like you're ready to do a comedy tour. There's no hiccups, there's no adjustments. Yeah, there's such different disciplines.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah. If I never did stand-up before and I went up to do like these theaters, yeah. That's a nightmare for sure. Yeah, I would not want to do that. So I'm very thankful that I have like 5-6 years of like experience and like going to terrible open mics and stuff. So yeah, that would be bad news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do you have any advice for just young stand-ups? Because I can't imagine how discouraging some of those early open mics can be.
Yeah.
Right?
Give up. I think just try to write stuff that you think is funny and that you laugh at. Like, because if no one else laughs at it, like, at least you think it's funny, right? And if you're having fun on there, like, that translates, and people will be down to go along for the ride. And just, like, if you truly love doing it, then just, like, keep at it. Try to keep, being better. Don't let people or audience reactions not deter you from it or anything. Because, like, there was so long that I went doing stand-up and nobody laughed at me. But you just got to keep doing it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't quit. Opposite what I said at the beginning.
Don't quit.
Yeah.
I've heard actually it's helpful to think as a young stand-up that you're telling stories as opposed to telling jokes. Like the idea of telling jokes can be intimidating, but if you just go up and tell funny stories, it might help a little bit.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way to start because everyone, I'm sure, has, silly stories. But it also works for those other comedians who are just good at writing jokes. It's like that's what works for them. So that's the other thing. It's just like finding what works for you. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was stand-up your first love as a kid? Like, what did you gravitate towards? What was your first passion?
I wanted to be a weatherman.
Did you really?
Yeah. So.
Why?
I don't know. I used to watch the movie Twister a lot.
Yeah.
You guys know that film? I used to watch that all the time. And then I was like, well, that seems fun. And then there's that. And then I was like, oh, you have to be good at, like, math and science. And I'm not, and I wasn't about to try to be good at it. So yeah. Then I started I went to school for an English degree, and then I was there for 2 days, and then I dropped out, and then I went to college, and they had a comedy like writing and performance program, and then I was there, and I met some friends there, and we started doing like mics in the city in Toronto and stuff, and yeah. Here we are.
So you wanted to be like a storm chaser. You didn't want to just be like, with the green screen in the studio if you're watching Twister.
I thought, yeah, that doesn't make sense at all when you put it like that. Well, I thought that's what weathermen were. They were just out there. They were men in the weather.
Al Roker just chasing Twisters all day long,
sprinting out a tornado. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. No car, just me and my feet running out of a Twister.
That's amazing. That's crazy. Well, in addition to John Mulaney, do you have any other sort of stand-up icons or role models?
Yeah, for sure. Bo Burnham is like the best. I'm sure you would all agree. He's definitely. He's like his career trajectory is probably like if anyone who like is on the internet making content, like that's what their ideal career trajectory would be, I think. And he's so creative and so like smart about how he goes about it. Nick Thune is one of my favorites as well. He's really funny. Ben Kronberg is another really funny one. Yeah, there's so many people just doing. I'm just like, I don't know. I like all of it mostly. Yeah. I just like. It's hard to like. It's like when I watch stand-up comedy, I just get like, jealous because they're so good and so funny, and I'm not as funny as them. But yeah, it just makes you want to get better, right? So yeah, but there's so many amazing people doing like really good stuff right now. So.
Growing up in Canada, did you ever like look up to like a Tom Green?
Not. I didn't used to watch him like too much. I would watch him like on television stuff a lot. But yeah, there is like definitely some good Canadian comics. Like Jim Carrey is like the funniest person of all time. So, and yeah, he did the same. He did like show like the Yuck Yucks up in Toronto. Yeah, there's some great Canadian comics doing like really good stuff right now too. So, yeah, it's cool. Toronto's nice. All right,
continuing the legacy.
First. Yeah. Yeah, you could say that.
Tell me about the podcast you're doing.
Yeah, I have a podcast called Very Really Good. It's fun. I kind of started it because I was just I had like a full-time job, like office job, and I didn't have time to like put in work for like YouTube videos because I'd be there from like 9 to 5 and then I go home. I just want to go to bed. But a podcast was like, it just felt like something I could kind of go in with. Like it had like minimal like editing time. Like it was just kind of I could just like do it and put it out. And then I just had so much fun doing it, and people seemed to like it, so I just kept doing it. And I think we're like 71, 72 episodes deep now.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't done one in a few weeks because I've been busy on this thing, but soon. I will do it soon. But yeah, it's been great. It's been a lot of fun.
Speaking of this thing,
Yeah.
how has this been going?
It's been great. Yeah, again, this is like, yeah, it's a dream come true basically, because like these are literally like my two like favorite YouTubers, and they're like two of my really good friends. So yeah, the fact that they wanted me to come out with them and do shows everywhere, it's like, yeah, it's the best, and we're having a great time. The shows have been amazing, and yeah, it's cool. It's very cool.
When's the next date?
Tonight.
Let's plug that. Where is it?
Yeah, it's at the. Are y'all going? Nice. I'll see you there in the audience. I have very good eyes. It's at the PlayStation Theater.
Okay.
Times
Square.
Yep.
It's nice real estate.
Yeah, it's crazy. We had this thing was on a sign out front, so our faces were in Times Square.
Oh, you get a picture?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. But yeah, that's tonight, and it's at 8 p.m. and it's sold out. So I guess if you don't have a ticket, I guess you can't go. But
stand outside.
yeah, you could just put a cup in your ear and just to the wall so you can hear it. Yeah, that'll look completely normal. But yeah, I'm excited. I've never done a show and like I've never done shows this big, so it's been crazy like every night. So I feel very lucky, very blessed.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to some questions from fans. First will come from Twitter. There we are. And it comes over here. Mel, let's go with Mel. Build series, hi Kurtis. Do you intend on continuing the conversation of social issues in your videos? I love your commentary and enjoy the way you use your platform.
Great question. Thank you, Twitter. Yeah, I think I'm definitely. If I have this audience, I feel like I have like a duty. Don't laugh that I said that word. I laugh. I think I have like a responsibility to, I think, spread messages that are positive and can help people, or even if you think a different way about a topic, maybe watching my video can make you think a different way about it, a more positive way about it, a more inclusive way about it. Because there's a lot of people on the internet who are just really bad. And they're doing bad things to impressionable people, and I just want to. I just feel like I wouldn't be able to really like do it if I wasn't, like putting out good messages while trying to entertain people.
Do you ever feel like those bad people make it harder for you because they give YouTubers maybe a bad name or a bad connotation? So when you try to transition into like the world of comedy, do you ever like get?
I mean, I guess it's like good and bad, because they're bad, so people think they're bad, but they're also bad, so I can make videos about them.
Yeah.
So I guess it goes both ways, I guess. But yeah, if everyone would just stop to being terrible, I don't know. I guess I don't know what to make videos about. Everyone's fine now. I'm stopping making videos.
Job here is done.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's get to some fan questions in studio. The first is going to come from over here. What's your name?
Ty. Hi. I feel like my question's a little whack compared to that one. So I wanted to know if you could collab with any YouTuber that you haven't already. Like, who would it be?
Dang. That's a good question. Any YouTuber who I haven't collabed with?
Yeah.
Will Smith. That'd be pretty cool. Or Jack Black. Yeah, those are YouTubers now. So I'll say that. If Will Smith Will, if you're watching, and I know you are, please be in my video.
I love that style though, because sometimes we ask bands like, "Hey, who do you want to collaborate with?" It's like, dude, always be honest and say the biggest act.
Oh,
you know
for
what I mean?
sure.
Like,
Yeah.
if I could have anybody, Will Smith.
Oh, duh, yeah, for sure. Will Smith, William Smith, yes.
All right, let's get to a couple more fan questions. The first is going to come from over. Oh, you're already ready. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Jessie.
Hello. Hi, Jesse.
So my question is, do you have any topics that you want to maybe tackle in your stand-up or your videos that you haven't yet, or maybe that you're like scared to?
That's the thing. I feel like I don't have video ideas until like the day before I have to film, or like the day of when I'm scrambling trying to think of something. And it goes the same for stand-up as well. Like, I think I like work better when I'm like kind of pressured and like with a deadline. And there's not really like. Sometimes I'll have like a list of video topics and stuff, but yeah, I'm not sure for right now. If you have any, I would.
You have any?
Please.
No.
Please. Yeah, I mean, if you have any, throw them my way because I have none. The well is dry. But that's a great question. Yeah, sometimes I'll have a bunch of ideas. Like, I don't know, some God will bless me or something and give me like a bunch of ideas, and I'll have like the next few weeks planned. But most of the time, I'm just so stressed and worried all the time. But yeah, but thank you. That's a good question. Thank you.
What'll stress you out more, the creating the next YouTube video and what the topic's going to be, or a stand-up set?
Oh, stand-up set for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because video, like a video topic. If I have a good topic, I just think I'm better at editing videos than I am at stand-up comedy. That's fine, but I just like. Because stand-up, it's like, it might be funny in your head the way you picture it, and then you get up on stage, and then it's not. And then you're like, okay, well, I got to change everything. But a video is like, you can tweak stuff, you can like refilm stuff, you can re-edit stuff, make it better, make it different. So there's just a lot more like a leeway, I guess, with videos. But yeah, stand-up, you got to like book shows, you got to do stage time, you got to do open mics, and like you got to maybe you said a word weird, maybe it's just so much. But that's what makes it fun though and rewarding though, when like a bit that you've been working on for a while goes over well. You're just like, okay, I did it.
Yeah,
I
so
did
rewarding.
It. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right, well, they're telling me we're out of time, unfortunately, Kurtis. But if there's are these all sold out? Is there like maybe one city that has a few tickets left?
It's like I've been told it's like 90% sold out. So there's like the shows that are in other places, there's still tickets. I'm pretty sure, but there are also some that are sold out. So that probably did nothing for you, but but if you go to the website, wearetwodifferentpeopletour.com, all the info will be there with which is sold out and which is not.
Awesome, dude.
There it is.
Guys, one more time for Kurtis Connor.
Thank you.